Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? This is Love Coach Dasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live, the 1st of November. Hope that you had a great holiday weekend. Had fun this week, and now we're getting into November, getting ready to get into the depths of the holidays. I'm glad that you're here with me. We are here today to talk a little bit about getting on the healing path after infidelity. You have been cheated on. You have gone through one of the most terrible, gut-wrenching things that you can go through in a relationship. But this is your relationship. This is the one that you want. This is the person that you love, and you really want to work it out. You don't want to have to leave them. And so you're thinking maybe you should stay and maybe you should work it out. Now, you may have been given very bad, very pessimistic advice about that, but I am here to tell you right now that is absolutely possible for you to get past this together and be happy together. Even though this has happened, even though you are dealing with this trauma, I know it to be true because I have experienced it myself. It is 15 years past D-Day at this point. In November, in a couple of days, it will be 15 years past D-Day. And I'm trying to tell you, you can get better. It has gotten so much better. We are so happy, so trusting. It can get to a good place. You just gotta put a little work in. That's all. Hey there, Capricorn season. I see you over there on Instagram. Hello. You can do it. I know that you can do it. I'm going to be here to help you along that path, all right? If you are really struggling and you need some help, you need some one-on-one, I do provide one-on-one services, and I do provide group services. So let me know if you need me, if you feel like I would be a good match for you to be a coach to help you get through this. I am absolutely for that. I will indeed help you, all right? But I am going to be here every Thursday for the Healing Hour Live to tell you all about getting past this part of your life, getting past this difficult trauma that you have experienced. You deserve to get past it. You deserve to be happy again. And I am all here just to help you do that, okay? All right, let me make sure I can see myself. I don't see myself. Where am I? All right. If you're here with me, let me know. Ebony's here. Hello, Ebony. I see other people. Come on, say hi. Don't act like you're shy with me. If you're here for the first time, so many new people came in from the Raising a Grown Man groups. Someone said something about my group in that group, and a whole bunch of people came over. So I know there's brand new people here who've never heard from me before, never talked to me before. I would love to hear from you. Say hi. Let me know. Amber, I see you here. Dominique's here. Susan's here. I know that's right. Hello to all of you. I am glad that you're here with me. Fantastic. All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get started. Are y'all ready? All right. We're getting ready to go ahead and get started. What we always start with here is very simple things that you can do all on your own, not requiring your mate to help you fix it, but doing all by yourself that are going to start to help with this trauma. You have been through this trauma. This is a serious trauma, okay? It's just like any other trauma. If you are going to get through it, you're going to be needing to do some things that will assist you in getting through it, all right? So a few of the basic things are what we go through every single week, all right? The first thing is going to be your deep breathing. Have you been doing your deep breathing? Have you been sitting down 5 times a day and doing your deep breathing? If not, you are doing yourself a disservice, ladies. You need to be doing the deep breathing. It seems so simple. It seems like something that, oh, well, I'm breathing all the time anyway. But the fact is, when you've been through a trauma, your breathing actually changes. you have physical changes that happen to your body along with the mental changes that come along with trauma. So if you are working on the physical ones, that will assist you in working on the mental ones. If you are controlling your breathing, breathing slowly, breathing deeply and fully, and exhaling fully, you are telling your brain, I am in control of my breath. I do not need you to freak out. I do not need you to go into fight or flight mode. I am okay. And then the more you teach your brain that, the more it will accept that you are okay, and you will begin to feel okay. All right. So we got to do the things that lead to okay. All right. Oh, hey there. Good morning, Bernadette from the Philippines, all over the planet. I love it. I love to see everybody coming in from all corners of the world, because love is love everywhere and men cheat everywhere. So we are all experiencing the same thing all over the world. There are women from every corner of this planet who have talked to me about their pain and about their trauma. And some of these things are universal. If you do these things on a regular basis, you are going to feel better. So the first thing is doing your deep breathing. Join me for the deep breathing. Why don't you? We are going to do 3 times. And what we do is a 4-7-8 pattern of breathing. What we do is blow out, blow like you're blowing out birthday candles. You want to make the noise when you blow out, all right? You're giving your brain a new trigger. You're telling your brain, when you hear that sound, when I make that noise, that means that I am calming down. I'm getting in control of my emotions. I am bringing that blood pressure down. I'm bringing my pulse down. I am stopping that throbbing in my head. I am in control, all right? We're going to blow out, and then we're going to inhale for a count of 4. Hold that breath for a count of 7, and then we're going to blow it out like we're blowing out birthday candles for a count of 8. Now, if you've never done this before, or if you smoke, you may have a little trouble with it, but do it along with me these 3 times. You'll get it. Don't worry about it. And I actually have a video on my YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, it says start here and breathe. It is me going through the breathing with you 5 times in a row. So you just watch that video 5 times and 5 times in the day, and there you go. You got your breathing done for the day. All right, so we're going to do our breathing. Blow out, in for 4, hold for 7, blow out for 8. All right, ready? All right, blow out. Inhale through your nose, 2, 3, 4, hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blow out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. How do you feel when you do the deep breathing? Let me know. When you do that, what do you feel? What do you feel physically? Usually, you can feel a little bit lightheaded sometimes. You can yawn a whole bunch. You can feel more alert, or you can feel more sleepy. Too good for you. I see you over there on Instagram. Hello, hello. But how does it feel when you're doing the deep breathing? What is it when you're doing that? What's going through your head? Because a lot of the time you're just focusing on the breathing, so you don't have the thoughts going through your head. And we're trying to work on the thoughts, right? So it's a good thing to do. Just generally speaking, all through the day, be working on that deep breathing, be working on settling yourself, centering yourself, just breathing, going slow, okay? You have been through this trauma. You deserve to go slow, okay? You deserve to take a few minutes and breathe and take care of yourself. You're supposed to be able to do that. So do your deep breathing 5 times a day, all right? Then the next thing that you're going to be doing, and I need you to do this on a regular basis too. I need you to be doing this in the morning when you first wake up, and then at night before you go to bed. I need you to do your journaling. Okay? Have you been doing your journaling? Talk to me about it. Let me know. Have you been doing your journaling? Now, it doesn't matter what kind of journal you use. Got the fuzzy bird one right here. It doesn't matter what kind of journal you use. It doesn't matter what kind of pen you use. I have thousands of pens. I love pens, but I will whatever pen strikes me in the moment, that's the pen I write with, and then I write in my journal. Hey, because Mom, I see you over there, girl. But you just write something down twice a day. 5 minutes. Don't give yourself too much time, because what will happen is you'll get a little obsessive. You'll start writing all the details. You'll start freaking yourself out. But just feelings, impressions, overall stuff that you are writing down. Now, if you have things in particular that you're like, yes, I need to write this down. I want to remember this. This is something important. Okay, yeah, sure. Feel free to write it down. But for the most part, what your journaling is, you're just pushing some of those thoughts, those negative feelings, you're taking them out of yourself and putting them down on the paper so that your brain can see. You wrote it down. You heard your brain freaking out about it. You wrote it down. There it is. All right. And then I want you to put the good stuff too. Hey there. I see you, girl. I want you to put the good stuff too in the journal. All right. Write down the good days too. So these things that you need to have in your journal, you need to have your date, your time, and your level of anxiety. Okay. Your date and time is so that you can go back and you can say, okay, 8:18 p.m. on Thursdays, I tend to freak out. I wonder what that is. Or it could be 8:18 on Thursdays, you're feeling great because you're with me. But either way, you're writing it down, just talking about your feelings, pouring that out. And so then later on, you'll be able to catch patterns to what has happened because you know the dates, you know the times, and you can see the patterns overall a lot better. Your level of anxiety is 0 to 10. 0 is no anxiety whatsoever. You are wonderful. All is right with the world. All right. Write that down. Make sure that you're writing down that good things happen. Okay. Because if you're at a 0 and everything is lovely and perfect in your world, you need to remember that. Right. You want to have that knowledge to remember, hey, I have had good days. And take a gold star and put it at the top of those pages so you remember those days. Hey, Angela, I see you, girl. Hello, hello. But yeah, put that in the top corner of your pages, and you will be able to always go back and be like, oh, hey, that was a star day. That was a star day. Hey, I haven't had like really as bad a time as I thought I was. I was having really good times. So it will let you know so that you know later on when your brain and your anxiety and your trauma try and tell you, oh, everything is awful, nothing good ever happens, he never does the right thing. You have evidence that that's not true, that your brain is lying to you, that you can actually record in your own handwriting. So when you go back and look at it, you can be like, oh, my brain is lying. My trauma is just lying to me, telling me something that is absolutely not true because I see all these stars. I see all these days where my anxiety was low. I see all these days where I had good stuff to write. Then it must be lying. All right. You feel like when you're in trauma that your memory is wonderful. It is not. Okay. When you are in the midst of a trauma, it feels very sharp, very clear. It feels like everything is just etched into your memory. And some things are. But for the most part, overall, your memory is not great when you're traumatized. You're not forming those memories as well as you should be when you're going through trauma. So you will ask the same questions over and over and over again, which you're going to get to in a minute. You will get stuck and go backwards because you think that you haven't asked something, or you think that it was an answer to your satisfaction, even though it might have been the first time you asked it, but you forgot that you asked it, and now you need another answer. So just try to remember that there are good times when you're writing in your journal. Write those good times, but write down all your feelings too. Write down what's happening with you. Plan your day. Plan what you're going to do about a trigger. All sorts of things can go in your journal. All right? All right. Now, the next thing that I want you to do that is so important to feeling better, to healing, to getting out of this pain, to getting past this trauma You need to be grateful, okay? You need to be looking around for things that make you so happy and put you in that frame of mind and that feeling of being happy. Because when you do that, when you put yourself in that place, it's easier to head in that direction, okay? So what I want you to do is my Thirsty Thursday every week, I'm going to ask you for good stuff. So if you're here with me, hey, Spin Happens, I see you over there on Instagram. If you are with me, go ahead and tell me something good that happened this week. Tell me good stuff, okay? I know good stuff has happened to you. Do not let the trauma tell you that it has not. I want you to feel that and be grateful for that, because good stuff is still happening. Even with trauma, good stuff is still happening. You want to acknowledge that and revel in that, so that you remember what feeling good feels like, so that you don't have to try and guess about it. You can know, like, yeah, this was a really good thing. This made me feel good. You get that warm fuzzy inside, and then you can hold on to that feeling a little bit longer. You can revisit that feeling when you really need it. All right. So Thirsty Thursday, let's see, Angela, you got here. Angela said, hubby got off work early today, so we went to get pedicures. I know that's right. That sounds like a good time. This will be his first, but he's willing to try it for me. Isn't that good? Isn't that so good when they're like that? He's trying. He is like, hey, if that's what you want to do, babe, we gonna go get our pedicures done. Now watch. I bet he loved it, didn't he? Tell me about it, Angela. Let me know. I bet you he loved it. I bet you he was like, man, I should have been doing this. Isn't that what he said? I bet that's what he said. The men don't ever want to pamper themselves. We got to teach them about that. If you're not doing your self-care, it's very hard to get them to do self-care. So drag them along. Make them do a little bit of self-care. Let them see how good it feels to do some of that stuff, okay? Dominique said, my husband and I are communicating more and able to better work through triggers and misunderstandings. We're so grateful to you for helping us work through everything. Girl, I am so happy to be helping you. And just the difference between last week and this week, just that little bit, just a little bit of effort goes so far. You didn't even really have to do anything. You didn't have to stand on your head. It was just a little bit of effort. Both of you gave a little bit, and then things are so much better like that next week. And then they get better and better and better the more you practice it. So yes, I'm glad that it's working out for you, girl. Bernadette said, I shot for pretty dresses yesterday. Did you find one? You found one for you? Or did you just go and try on stuff and be beautiful? I do that from time to time. Just go look. Just try on something that's gorgeous. And, if I can't help myself. If I look wonderful in it, I'm going to get it. But, sometimes I just like to go and dress up a little bit. Amber said he sent me a picture when I asked him to, just to keep an internet. What, an eye on what he was working on? What, you were wondering what he was doing? That was nice of him to do, but don't do that too often, okay? You don't want to start depending on pictures to be able to trust them. All right. Susan says, have not looked at his phone for 1 month. I swear we need chips. I swear we do. Just like Alcoholics Anonymous, we need some chips for you to be able to carry around with you. Said, I made it 1 whole month without going through my man's phone. We need that. Right? We need those for sure. I think I'm going to invest in that. Oh, fantastic. I love all the good news. And that's the thing. Good news spreads and makes more good, okay? I know that it's easy to get stuck in talking about the negative. I know it's easy. I know that's what your brain is obsessing about. I know that's what it wants to talk about. I know that's what it wants to clear up and explain away. I get that. But you got to remember the good stuff too and be grateful for it. Feel it in your bones. Feel it in your chest. You're like, I am so happy that we went and got pedicures. I am so happy that he's willing to send me the pictures I'm asking for. I'm so happy that I was able to resist the urge to go through his phone, to do something sneaky that I know I shouldn't be doing. I'm wonderful that I didn't do that. So I want you to be happy, okay? Be grateful that you have these things in your life. Ebony said, I wasn't all anxious and worried yesterday when his phone went off. In the past, I would panic. Girl, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's so much better when you can just be. You don't have to be stressing about, oh, what's his phone doing? And it rang and it vibrated. And is that a notification? Is he talking to somebody? What's he smiling at? You don't have to do that. You don't have to do it. It doesn't help anything. It does not help you feel any better. It just drives you nuts when you're all obsessed about his phone. So I'm glad that you didn't have that panic. You were able to breathe through that moment and just be like, okay, his phone is ringing. This is a normal thing that happens with phones. They ring. All right? Fantastic. I am excited about all the good news. Thank you so much for sharing. And just try to remember, be grateful. Just let your heart be overflowing with all the good stuff that does happen in your life. I know that bad stuff has been happening, but that's part of the deal. That's part of living on this planet. You're going to get some good. You're going to get some bad. When you're really in the moment and paying attention to the good and flowing with how it makes you feel, you know that feeling you get when everything is good and you're like, it's happy. When you get into that and you just start flowing, things start healing, the two of you get better, you start hanging out more, you start enjoying each other more, and things go well. All right, so try and get in that spirit, try and get that uplifting your heart as much as you can, and be as grateful for you can as every little thing that you have. Like every day I have a little reminder. This is my reminder bracelet to remind me, just when I see it, what am I grateful for? What am I grateful for in this moment? And, every time I see it during the day, that's my signal to be like, okay, I am grateful that it was such a gorgeous day outside. I am grateful that I found out something was wrong with my car, but it's simple and easy to fix. I am grateful that my honey is just in the other room playing his video game, being here. He's right here. He was right here, as a matter of fact. And I know he's right there. And if I yelled for him, he would come to me. It is so much in your life that you could be grateful for, but trauma will try and hide it all from you. Do not let the trauma do that, all right? All right, and then the last thing that you can always do, you all by yourself, all on your own, can stop asking so many damn questions, okay? Please stop asking the questions. I know you want answers. I know that your brain is screaming at you that you should have all the answers. I know that. But the thing is, number one, if you're all emotionally dysregulated right now, if you don't have your emotions in check, you're not going to be able to absorb all the answers that you get. So you can ask a whole bunch of questions. You can ask a whole bunch of stuff that will hurt your feelings. But in the state that you're in the state where you're all unemotionally regulated, then you're going to be anxious about everything that is said, and you're going to overthink it, and you're not going to hear it in the spirit that it's giving. You're not going to hear it the right way. And then that kind of defeats the purpose, because you got this information now, but it has been colored by all your emotions. And so then it's not even correct at that point. What you thought you heard or what your emotions heard might be completely different from what they were trying to say. So instead of doing that, instead of sitting down and asking a whole bunch of questions that you really probably don't want to know the answer to, like, do you love her? Did you want to be with her instead of me? What kind of sex was it? No, we don't want to ask those questions. We want to ask something positive. So I get this one. This is the Healing Edition deck. This is from the skindeep.com/shop. I think you got to put in, but it's also on Amazon. And this is a great game. Sit down with each other, deal out a few cards, and ask each other questions back to back or back and forth, which are just about relationship, just about the two of you, and not about this affair, not about this cheating. You need to be able to talk about things other than the cheating. I know it's hard to do that, but in order for you to heal, you can't keep talking about it. I know that everybody will tell you, oh, you just got to talk it out until you have just talked and talked and talked, and you finally let it all out, and you finally talked it to the point where you feel better. It doesn't really work like that. When you talk about trauma, you re-traumatize yourself. You're continuously looping back around to feeling awful. And so the more you talk about it and the more he doesn't respond the way you want him to respond, because he's not you. And so he's not going to respond the way you want him to. And then you feel like you have to talk about it more to get that response. And then he's not giving you that response again. It just becomes this terrible cycle where you can't get any satisfaction, and then you're getting more and more dissatisfied with him because you feel like, oh, he's the one causing this. Well, really, it's just the way your brain is working with the trauma. Your brain will keep on telling you that I need all these answers. I need all these answers. And if he doesn't give me all these answers in exactly the way that I need him to give them to me, then I'm just going to give up. But it doesn't have to be like that. All right. Let's see, Dominique. Dominique, you said telling hubby not to answer your questions was helpful in resistant asking, because I know he's going to say, Dasha said I don't have to answer any questions. And that helps, right? It gives you, okay, we're going to stay on track. We're not going to get all sidetracked by questions that are just going to hurt my feelings, because that's what it is. Your brain wants you to ask questions that are going to hurt your feelings. That is exactly what it's doing. It is not trying to help you heal. It is trying to gather ammunition against you. It is trying to tell you, hey, look, let me think of this question, because this question will show you he's just awful and you shouldn't be close and you shouldn't open up to him anymore. You shouldn't love him anymore. That's what your brain is trying to do. So every time you do that, every time you start asking all those questions, it's going to go nowhere, because the goal for your brain is to not get closer, to not heal. So the only way to stop that is by stopping answering the questions, okay? And exactly. Now that he knows that I told you not to ask the questions, I told him too. I was like, look, because he was talking about feelings with you, and I was like, hey, stop that. You all do not need to keep on going back about bad feelings. Let's go forward with some positive ones, right? All right, so we can't go backwards. We can't be asking those doggone questions. So let me give you some questions to ask other than these devastating questions that you might want to ask, all right? Let's see. How would you title this chapter of our lives? Isn't that one that's on Facebook? How would you title this chapter of our lives? How would you title this chapter of our lives? Like that? That's a good question. That's a good one, right? All right. Let's see. When was the last time you considered ending our relationship, and why didn't you? That's a good question, right? We know when it was for you. So maybe we need to ask him that question. Oh, my light. There we go. When was the last time you considered ending our relationship, and why didn't you? All right. One more. What was the last thing to happen that challenged our trust in one another? That one, see, these two just so happen to be things that kind of line up with the cheating, but it's not an accusation question. It's not trying to find out details that are just going to hurt your feelings. It's about talking about you and him and your relationship instead of talking about the cheating. All right. All right. Let me know. You like those questions? Think those are good? Those are good. I love those questions. I love that. I love that game. That's a great one to play. I got the long-term relationship one that I play with my husband, and just sit down and ask each other questions. And every now and again, you find one that's like, "Damn, I really didn't know that about you." Oh, those are good questions. Good. Glad you like those, Ebony. All right. So now we're getting down to it. And I gotta see if you got any questions for me. I am here to answer all the questions that you have. I only see one on the post. Every Wednesday, I put up a post at 8 o'clock, 24 hours before this starts. So if you're on my Facebook group, go and post on that, and I will know what questions you want to ask. I might do that on Instagram too. Maybe I should do that so people can comment their questions. Dominique, you ordered the long-term and the healing editions, right? They're good. You had some before, right? They're good questions. It makes you feel good. You sit there and ask each other stuff back and forth. And it doesn't have to be a whole bunch of questions. You can start off with like three, four of them, not overwhelming each other. Just, couple of questions back and forth, get to know each other again, open up to each other, talk about things a little bit. Ebony, for sure, yeah, it's a good deck. I think it's like $25. I think it's it's on Amazon, so I think it's like $25 on Amazon. All right, something say yeah, the couple edition. Yeah, you had that one before. Oh, they have a whole bunch of them. They have a whole bunch of different ones. They got parent and children one, I think. All right, let's see. Ebony said, what's something couples can do to create passion again? See, that's the whole thing. The passion comes from the closeness. It comes from like the friendship. It comes from getting along together. If you haven't been getting along for a while, it's hard to muster up all that passion. So the first thing is being together and enjoying one another. Like, taking away all of this trauma, all of the drama, all of the issues, and just really sitting there and enjoying one another again. Seeing somebody who loves you enough to get past something with you, who is willing to keep on enjoying things with you, that's a person that you're going to feel passionate about. So it's like, like exactly like what part of the passion that are you trying to get back exactly, Ebony? But honestly, a lot of it starts with just having those good times together again. It's been a lot of yelling. It's been a lot of distrust. It's been a lot of back and forth. If you can get a little bit of time in where things are nice and calm, we're getting along together, we're spending time, we're doing stuff together, having adventures, then it's a lot easier to get to that passionate part, If you want to go deeper into that, let me know. Bernadette said, I'll be doing my first psychotherapy 6 hours from now. I hope it'll help with my healing. I hope it does too. Talk, but make sure that you're doing too. Oh, I'm on the cord. That's what it is. All right, there we go. All right. So yeah, talk, but make sure that you're doing action. You know what I mean? Make sure that you're doing things that a person who is healed would do. So like try and picture who you would be if you were healed. If you were healed, would you do the things that you did when you first fell in love with him? If you were healed, would you be looking at his phone? Would you be doing this, that, and the third? You got to check with yourself, got to get in alignment with who you think you would be as a healed person. When you start doing those actions, you start healing. All right, Ebony, okay, that makes sense. Good. All right. Let me see. We got some new people. Let me tell you a little bit about what I came up with is the dreams formula for healing and reconciling after infidelity. I came up with this on my own because I had to figure it out. I was on my own. I didn't have a group like this. I didn't have a whole bunch of women who also wanted to get through it. So I kind of had to figure it out piece by piece on my own. And what I did was came up with the dreams formula. Very simple, basic overview of it is D is for making the decision that you want to heal. This is the person that you are willing to forgive. This is the person that you are willing to heal with. This person is special enough for you to make that decision and be comfortable with making that decision. Now, even saying that gets into the next thing, which is the R, recognizing fear speech. You're going to be a little afraid, even if it is a good decision, even if this is the person that you really, really love, this is the person for you, you're going to be a little bit afraid to do that. You have to recognize the fear. You have to conquer the fear. It's getting control of your emotions, getting those emotions regulated so that you're not lashing out, you're not freaking out on a regular basis, you are enjoying each other. E is for evaluating the why, figuring out exactly why they would do something like this. And a lot of the time it just falls into three categories: sick, sad, stupid. Sick is exactly what it is, all sorts of illnesses. Sad is usually something to do with grief. And stupid is all of the crazy stuff we are told about being in a relationship, men and women alike, all right? Then there's the A of the dreams formula, which is allowing the healing to happen. You got to let it be. A lot of the time they'll try and do the things, and then you're feeling all resistant and keeping the wall up and keeping them away even when they're doing the things. So if he is buying you flowers, if he is calling more often, if he is trying to give you compliments, accept those things. Don't push them away. Acknowledge that that's all part of what would be a healing situation, and accept those things into your life, and do the things that are loving and caring that you should be doing for him. M is for managing those future feelings, which is code word for dealing with the triggers. You're going to have triggers. It happens with all trauma. That does not mean you are going back to the beginning of your healing. It just means that you are having a bad moment. All right. You can absolutely come through a trigger. A lot of the time, if you plan out what you're going to do ahead of time and you know that you have a plan, it makes it so much easier. And S is for seek some support. Get some support from somebody who really understands this, who knows what you're trying to do, and they agree that this is the person that you love. Okay, I'm going to agree with you. If you say this is the one for you, I am absolutely going to believe you. I am fully with you. Yes. How can I support you in this? That's who you need on your side. If you're going to get some support from somebody who's going to do that, instead of, well, I don't know, and you're being a doormat if you go back to him, and I am just going to sugarcoat it for you. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't go back. You should just kick him to the curb. Okay, that person, we're not listening to that person, right? All of those people are like, oh, you should just kick him to the curb, and you shouldn't do this. Most of them have been through it, and they have stayed too, okay? So don't listen to those people. It's the people who are going to be honest with you, like me. I'm going to tell you, I've been through it. I know you can do it. I know you can get past it. I know it sucks, but I know that it's possible, all right? And I believe in you. I know you can do it. All right, that's just a little quick run through if you're brand new here for the Dreams Formula. Let's see, Bernadette, you said that makes perfect sense. It puts my mind on a better path by what you just said. I suddenly feel better. Excellent. Good, good. My whole goal when I'm talking to you, in almost everything that I'm doing with you, I want you to get a different perspective. I don't want you to get stuck, because what happens is you're stuck with the fearful perspective. You're stuck with the perspective of there is doom, there is gloom, bad things will happen. I get that perspective, but I want to let you know that sometimes your brain is lying to you about that, all right? Sometimes it is not doom and gloom. Sometimes there are better ways and you can move forward. So I don't want you to get stuck. I want you to always come away from talking to me with a little bit different perspective, hearing something that's like, hey, that makes me feel better. That always makes me feel good. So I'm glad that it made you feel good, all right? All right, let's see. What else do we have? Alexandra, Mama Khan over there. Always forgiveness. Always, that's what she wants to know about. Always about forgiveness. And the thing is, forgiveness is about you, okay? Forgiveness is about you not having to suffer the ill effects of this trauma anymore. It's not about them. Okay, forgiving them is not about, oh, here's a red flag, here's a green light to just go ahead and treat me any kind of way you want to. Forgiving is, I don't want this to define my life. I don't want this to be stuck in my consciousness, in my space any longer. I don't want to hold on to this. I don't want to drag it behind me any longer. I don't want it to continue hurting me. I am going to let it go because that's what I want. All right. So forgiveness is mostly for you. All right. It's nice for them. It is wonderful for them if you forgive them. Okay. It is amazing to them if you actually forgive them, because most people have never really, really been forgiven. Have you ever really, really been forgiven? I ask that sometimes, and I get curious about it, because honestly, I don't think I was ever really, really forgiven for things before. I don't think that I really had experienced that, and I did it. And I did it for my husband, and I showed him that, and it was amazing how much he appreciated it, how much he had never seen it before. And as I was doing it, I was like, I don't think I've ever experienced this for myself. I don't think anybody who's ever been mad at me has ever just been like, you know what, I totally forgive you. We are getting past this. still love you. It's fine. I don't think I've ever had that before. And so when I saw it and it unfolded before me, it was impressive to me. And then it was definitely impressive to him because he was like, I don't know how you did that. That was an amazing thing that you did, that you were able to forgive me for this. I don't know if I would have been able to do such a thing. And then you become amazing. All right. Because you were able to forgive, you become this amazing woman that he'd be a fool. He'd be a complete idiot to let go of because you've done something that he's never seen any other woman do before. All right. So that's what we're going for. We're trying to be unique. We're trying to be special with our forgiveness. Okay. And this one person, I am not asking you to do this for more than one. Okay. This is your special person. This is the person who touches your heart. This is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. I'm not saying you have to forgive anybody else, honestly. But that person, that's the one you want to forgive. You want to go ahead and do that because if you're going to spend your entire life with somebody, you're going to forgive them a whole bunch, okay? They're going to forgive you a whole bunch. And you want to start that as the standard as soon as possible. You want that to be always the standard. If I fuck up, I want you to forgive me. If you fuck up, I got you, I'm going to forgive you. And that is how our relationship is going to go. That will be the standard. That is the love that we have. And when you get that established, it's gold. Because even if you do something and you just didn't realize you hurt them, you know that you can be forgiven. If you did something stupid and you just rather ask for forgiveness than permission, you know that you can be forgiven. All right. It's going to happen periodically through your life. It is like that. There are going to be many, many times that you have to forgive somebody that you love. But that's okay. That just means you're living a whole life. That means you are just two people living an entire life together. All right? Does that make sense? That's a little bit about forgiveness. A little riff on forgiveness there. All right. Let me see. All right. That was the only question up there. Anybody else got questions? Tell me. Let me know what you got going on. What do you want to hear about? What can I answer for you? Still got 10 minutes left. It's still good. Let me see if I can stumble upon a question in the group that's not too involved. Let me see. We got lots of questions that are paragraphs. I'm going to answer a few a little bit later. But let's see. Somebody said they got cheated on and the girl was pregnant. Oh, I know that's a hard one. That is so difficult. The whole thing about dealing with that is, okay, you're not trying to let go of your mate. All right. Now there is this other person. There is this baby in the world that is a reminder. But a lot of the time, if you can go ahead and start to establish a relationship with that child, a lot of that tension starts to go away. Unless you just happen to want to be an evil stepmother. A lot of the time, connection with a kid, any kid, will start, even when it's hurtful, you still recognize them as a kid. A lot of the mom kicks in and you're like, okay, well, I can't be mad at this kid because their parents were idiots. Like that's not gonna work. I'm not gonna sit here and be mad at a child over something they had absolutely nothing to do with. And that starts to soothe some of the ache. It starts to make it a little bit better. And then try to be as good of an influence in that child's life as you possibly can. In spite of this being something that hurts you so badly, you being able to be a good influence, being able to say, this child has come into my life for a reason. I'm going to try and give goodness and love and light to this baby just because that's the right thing to do. It starts to ease some of that ache in your heart. It really does. I know that it's a hard thing to do, especially if you're dealing with the whole pregnancy thing too, because there's that whole time period where you're just waiting for the baby to be born and having to deal with baby mama issues, which is stressful. It is, but a lot of the time, once you've just made that connection with the child and understand, okay, this child is going to be in our lives, it kind of softens a lot of the rough edges a little bit. see. Okay. Oh, wait, back up. Okay. Do you love your spouse as you did before it happened? Oh, Susan, I couldn't love him more. I don't think I could have ever loved him more. He's just my person. I just freaking love him. I don't know if it's like, I don't know. It's more realistic the way I love him now. When our particular situation is, yeah, he had issues other than this, but he also has bipolar disorder, and I understand, logically and reasonably that he has this disorder, and if he gets manic, if he is kind of out of control of himself, it is a possibility that he could cheat. I do know that. I accept that as a possibility now. And I love him in a more realistic way. I don't love him in the, oh, he could never hurt me way, which is completely unrealistic and completely untrue. Like, everybody can hurt you. Even your mama could hurt you. But, like, I understand that he's just a human being. He does have flaws. There are things that could go wrong, and he could do something to hurt me. And that's not about us. That's not about me. That is just the fact that he's got this issue. So I love him anyway. And, I just kind of love him in a more realistic way now. I love him knowing that he is a person and he is capable of doing the wrong thing. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't love me. And it doesn't mean that he doesn't love me just as much as I love him. But, we're all capable of doing the wrong thing. We just are. Dominique said, I wanted to see the baby the other day, but I don't think mom is ready for that. It's definitely tough. Yeah, and you're really doing well about that. But, I don't know. She's still dealing with postpartum and whatnot. It's hard with that, maybe as the baby gets a little bit bigger and he starts bringing the baby out more, then you can get a little bit more interaction going with her and, feel that, get to start doing that bond. Because, you're going to be there and you are going to be, lovely and wonderful in this child's life, and it's going to be a wonderful thing for both of you. It's just the fact that you got to build it. You got to go ahead and get there. Bernadette said, is it normal / okay for him not to be open to his feelings? Also, he seems to be emotionally immature by not dealing / addressing my needs in the relationship. I have anxiety every time he does that. What do I need to do about it? All right. What in particular? Like, give me an example of something that you feel like he is not addressing in the relationship. Because if you're talking about you want him every time that you're feeling some kind of way, you want him to sit there and baby you and fix your emotions, I'm going to say not to do that. All right. I'm going to say that he shouldn't. Okay, if that's what it is, but let me know before I get all deep into that. It is absolutely normal for him not to want to be open with his feelings. If you're asking him about feelings about the affair or about actually cheating, he's not going to want to talk about that because most people don't want to talk about things that they've done wrong. So, if you want to talk, you want to ask me about my feelings about how I did something stupid, I don't want to talk about that either. I feel a little bad. I was stupid. I don't want to talk about that. I look like an idiot in this story. You know what I mean? So that's totally normal to not want to talk about, what he did wrong. Let's see. I hit it exactly. That's what you were talking about. You want him to address your needs. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm saying don't do that. I know, Bernadette. I know. That's what you want. That's what you feel like will make you feel better. But a lot of the time it doesn't. They can be doing all the things. He could be doing every single thing that you can think of in your brain right now that you think would make you feel better. But that is discounting one thing, and that fact is he can't make you feel better. He cannot make you. He can't make you feel anything. Your feelings are your feelings. You feel the way you feel because it's you. It's not because somebody is making you feel that. You are seeing what they're doing, hearing what they're doing, and you're reacting to it. You are feeling it because that is within you. It's not that he can make you. All right. I want everybody to get out of the habit of you're making me feel this, that, and the third. Those are your feelings. Nobody can make you feel them. They come along and they surface because of things that have happened in your past, things that are going on with you. It's not really the same thing as controlling your emotions. All All right. So when you're in your moment, all right, you got to figure out what is going to help you feel better. Because if you're going to him to feel better, it's never going to work. You're always going to feel crappy. You're always going to be like, there is no way I can get out of this, because you're giving away power. You are taking the person that hurt you and saying, here, you're supposed to be the one to fix this, but they can't fix what they have broken. You can only fix your own emotions. So if you're going to him every single time, that's just saying, here, you broke me, I'm miserable, fix it, do something about it. And then he's like, I don't know what to do about it. I don't even, he probably didn't even understand emotions as well as you do. So he really can't fix it. And so then you're like, well, you're supposed to do something to fix it. And he is getting more and more frustrated, and he gets angry with you, and then you get angry with him, because how dare you get upset with me when I'm telling you to fix what you broke, and it spirals out of control. He never had any control over making you heal. He never had control over making you feel better. I have seen countless times he is doing everything. I've seen guys that are doing everything. They listen. They're getting you to talk. They're like, come on, tell me about it. Tell me how you're feeling. They are answering all the questions. They're allowing the GPS. They're letting you go through their phone. It does not matter at all. It does not matter at all. All of that stuff that he could be doing, you are looking for your healing in the wrong place. It is not with him. It is within you. Don't give him that power. He has already shown that he's not great with making the best of decisions. You need to be the person that's responsible for getting your own healing going. They say, what is the saying? Your wound may not be your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. It is on you. It is. You wanting to go to him and keep on talking about negativity just makes both of you feel negative. You keep talking about how bad you feel. He keeps saying, okay, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that. You keep getting pissed off that he doesn't know what to do about that. And it goes round and round and round and round. Don't wait for him. If you need something from him, give him a task to do. Don't have him sit there and talk to him and talk him to death and then expect him to read your mind and know what you want him to do. Give him a task. Give him something simple. If it's just, okay, I need a hug. All right, go to him and be like, okay, some hug therapy time. Come on. I need it. Bring it in. And go get a hug from him. If it is, you need a compliment. You need something to boost your ego. You need something to boost your feelings about yourself. Tell him to give you a compliment. Tell him, hey, say with all the passion that you can muster that I am gorgeous and you want nobody but me. And tell him what it is you need to hear. All right. Don't try and make him guess. Don't try and sit there and talk him to death about it. Just figure out what it is that your brain is screaming for. If it is screaming for some validation, ask for that. If it's screaming for some intimacy, some touch, ask for that. And don't try and just sit there and talk to him about it. Just tell him what it would help you to feel better in the long run. Does that make sense to you, Bernadette? Let me know. Let me know, because he's not actually emotionally immature. He is just not trying to sit there and both of you keep suffering through talking about the trauma. It makes you re-traumatize. It re-traumatizes him. It doesn't really help anything. So give him a task, something he can do for you. All right. Hope that makes sense. All right. Abney said, how do we approach them when they do something that makes you feel a certain way? See, makes you feel a certain way. You gotta stop saying that. He can't make you feel anything. It is how you just happen to feel about that thing. He wasn't trying to make you do anything, okay? Remember that. I remember I told him one time he made me feel a certain way. He got mad saying he can't control how I feel, and that hurt me even more. Don't say that, because he cannot control how you feel. Your feelings are completely independent of him. Sometimes, okay, I've seen it happen that men are doing like the sweet thing. Like, okay, he went to buy flowers and he brings you flowers, and I've seen a woman like break down and cry because, well, you're bringing me flowers now, but you didn't bring me flowers then. And yeah, they can't control how we feel. They can try all they want to try and like give us the things that we need, make us happy. But honest to God, if we don't want to be happy, there's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do about it. And you said, I think you're answering a question now by saying we should tell them what we need from. Yeah, if you want something in particular, say the thing that you want. Don't talk about the feeling to them. You just confuses them. Their brains are not that complex. They're not all that whole the feelings and connecting the feelings to the rational thoughts and to the actions. They're not as complex as we are. There's no need for you to keep on trying to tell him about the feeling. Don't tell him about the feeling. Just tell him what the feeling wants from you. The feeling wants me to feel cuddled and secure. So wrap your arms around me. Come on, bring it on. Just tell him what you want. Hey, I see you, the promised one over there on Instagram. Hey, girl, glad you're here. Bernadette. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Good. I'm glad that makes sense. All right. I know you want to go to them. You want them to fix it, but it is something that is wrong with you, not with them. I know that they might have caused it. I know that it might have led to your trauma, but your reactions, regulating your emotions, getting yourself together after this, feeling better, getting reconciled, that's going to be on you. That is going to be your thing. And that may be unfair. It may be, but the thing is, you're the one experiencing it. So you're the one that has to have control over that. Hey, girl, I see you over there. All right, let's see. Any questions? Any other questions? What's going on? We're at 9. To forgive is to stop feeling angry or resentful toward someone for an offense, flaw, or mistake. The forgiving actually, you see, it didn't actually have anything to do with them. The definition of forgive is all about your feelings. That's what it's about. So that's what we're going for. We're trying to get out of those negative feelings. We're trying to remember how we love this person. Try to remember when you first met them and you first fell in love with them and the things that made you light up about them. Try and get back to those things instead of talking about the negative things. That's how you're going to heal. That's how you're going to be able to forgive, is coming back to the positive and moving forward from there. Because if you're stuck in the negative, you're going to just be stuck. You're just going to be stuck in the misery, and you can't get past that if you're never thinking about any of the good. You can't get to the good if you're not thinking about the good. If that makes sense. You are constantly thinking about the negative right now, and so aren't you getting a whole bunch of negative? Isn't that what's happening? You keep on trying to talk to him about things, and you're like, see, I'm feeling so negative. Give me positivity. It's not really how it works. We can't do it that way. What we have to do is be trying to find that positivity within ourselves and then following it out of the woods, following it into a happier position. All right? That makes sense? I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. And I know they're idiots. I know they are. But I know that you have power beyond your imagining. I know that you can indeed do this. You can heal this all up. You can feel much better. You don't have to wait for anything to feel better. You don't have to wait for him to do anything. You don't have to wait for him to say anything. You can just choose to feel better and then pursue feeling better. That's how it works. That's exactly how you're going to heal. Ebony said, okay. All right. There we go. All right. Any questions? I think somebody was trying last week to try and get somebody to go and catfish her husband, trying to catch him, trying to see if he would do stuff like that. Don't test like that, people. And for sure, don't use people in these groups, okay? I love each and every one of you, but each and every one of you are hurt. You are damaged at the moment. And if you set it up that you're going to have a person has been unfaithful talking to a damaged person, that may not work out the way that you want it to, okay? That may unfold in ways that you're not intending for it to unfold. Not to say that any of you in here would do that, but I'm saying when we're in pain, we do things that we don't necessarily that we wouldn't necessarily do otherwise. So I say, please don't do that. Don't do that to yourselves. Don't do that to your mates. Don't try and catch them. Don't try and catfish them. Don't try and send them messages saying that it's somebody else and trying to flirt with them. Don't do that. Don't be manipulative. Don't let this pain and this trauma make you react with so much fear that you are manipulative and sneaky. Okay? Don't let it do that to you. You didn't deserve that. You don't deserve to have who you are corrupted by this trauma. All right? Don't let it do that to you. Don't let it make you do things that are not in your character. Don't let it make you cheat back. If you feel like cheating is wrong, don't think that this is an excuse for you to go ahead and cheat back. Don't do it because you know it's wrong. All right? Live by who you actually are, not by who this trauma will try and make you to be. Because it will try. It will try its very best to try and make you be somebody that you are not the loving, kind, forgiving, understanding, open person that you really are. It will try and change you and try and make you into something different. And you don't want to be that. You want to be the happy, loving person. You don't want to be miserable. You don't want to be bitter. You don't want to be alone, for sure, for sure. So we've got to do the things that we need to do to come out of that painful place out into the sun. Get on the healing path. Get out of these woods and get to a better place. So I am here for you for that, okay? I am here for you. You make sure if you need my help, you are interested in working with me, message me. You can message me on Instagram right here. DM me out there. You can message me on my Love Coach Dasha page on Facebook. You can ask for me lots of different ways, or you can send me an email, info@lovecoachdasha.com. You can send me all sorts of information, all sorts of ways, and I will talk to you and we will figure out what you need to be able to get you to the next spot. All right? Get you out of these damn woods and feeling better and feeling more confident and feeling more trusting and loving and regulate those emotions and get you to a place where you're having good times with your honey and you're able to get past this, able to get on with the next chapter of your life. Okay? All right. It looks like, is that it? Is that all we got? Any other questions? Hey, the promised one, you got a question about healing after infidelity? You want to stay with your honey? You want to be with him and work things out? If you got any questions about it, I answer all comers. Oh. Let's see. Anybody? You good? You good? You said you're trying to work it out. That's okay. You keep on trying. Don't work so hard. Try and work hard on getting to happy. Remembering happy, okay? Remember what it feels like to be happy in your chest. Remember what it feels like to have that uplifted feeling. Smile as much as you can. Try and get to that place where you feel that happy. You remember what that happy is like and let it lead you, okay? The negative, the fear, it is trying to lead you the wrong way. I promise you, it is not leading you the right way. People always come to me and say, oh, I have this intuition, I had this gut feeling that something was wrong and that I should check and that he's doing something that he shouldn't be doing. And that gut feeling is fear, okay? Your intuition cannot overcome the sound of your fear. Your intuition is a very quiet voice. It's a very calm voice, and it is a very sure voice. You will not be questioning anything. It won't make you hurt. It won't make your gut twist up when your intuition is in play. It is your fear that makes everything painful, that makes it feel like something's clawing at your chest or trying to twist out of your stomach. It is the fear that makes you want to check up on him and back away and keep that wall up. That's what that is. So if the fear is telling you something that is negative, to do something you know that is wrong, it's fear. Don't listen to it. It's not your intuition. Just go ahead and flow in. your goodness, all of the goodness that you can muster up for this person, try and flow with that. That makes sense? I hope so. Okay. I think that's about it, right? I don't see any other questions, comments, thoughts, complaints. We're good to go for this week. I will be back next week. This is November, so I'm gonna do next week and the week after. But on the 24th, on Thanksgiving, I won't be here. So make sure you see me these next 2 weeks and get up with me, because I believe if you are trying to work this out, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7 weeks until Christmas. I want you to have a great Christmas. I want you to be happy and feel loved and excited and wonderful during this holiday. So if you feel like, okay, we're going to need a little help to get to a happy Christmas, definitely message me, okay? I got some programs to get you into. We can work together. We can fix this so that Christmas comes and you're feeling good about your relationship instead of dreading spending time with the friends and the family because everything is going so terrible in the relationship, okay? All right. So I think that's about it. So I'm going to give you an affirmation. Good. I'm glad that works for you. I see you over there on Instagram. Okay, good. I'm glad you got that. All right. So what I do every time we part, I give you an affirmation. Now remember, every single thing you tell yourself is an affirmation. If you are telling yourself negative things, guess what your brain is going to believe, okay? What you have to do, even when you don't believe the affirmation, you got to say it like you mean it, okay? Look yourself in the eye, right there in your camera, right there in your mirror. Look yourself in the eye and say it with passion. Say it with conviction. Say it like you believe this your entire life. Like say it to you, like you're saying it to your very best friend, and you're like, how do you not know that this is true about yourself? Say it with that authority, okay? And periodically through the day, all through the day, go ahead and keep on repeating it to yourself over and over and over and over and over again until it sticks. You will get to the point where you will hear the negative thought and it'll almost be like a buzzer goes off in your head. You're like, no, that's not the right thought. No, he doesn't love me. That's not the right thought. You are loved. You are loved tremendously by the person that you want to be loved by. That is what you need to be doing. So it's like, as you do this more and more and more, as you are constantly affirming the positive, when you hear that negative inside your head, you will recognize it faster, and then you'll be able to deal with it a little bit faster. All right. Caroline, oh, you just got here. That's all right. Watch the replay. Anybody that's here on the replay, hashtag replay, let me know that you're here with me. I don't care if you watch it with me. I don't care if you watch it on the replay, as long as you watch it. All right. And make sure you give me lots of likes and stuff. Facebook, algorithms, all that. They like that stuff. Okay, let's see. So the affirmation for this week is, today I am adventurous. That's interesting. Today I will get out of my comfort zone and try something I've never tried before. Ooh, that's interesting, isn't it? Today I am adventurous. Today I will get out of my comfort zone and try something I've never tried before. And over here, so you can see it on. There we go. Today I'm adventurous. Today I will get out of my comfort zone and try something I have never tried before. What if it's forgiving? What if it is moving on? What if it is moving past something that has devastated you? That's something you've never done before, right? So let's do that today. Alrighty, y'all. I guess that is about all. It was wonderful to talk to all of you. Remember, I am here fully for you. If you need somebody to help you with getting through this, you need somebody to help you regulate your emotions, I specialize in getting past this. So I am here to help you, okay? Message me on Instagram, DM me on Instagram, message me on Facebook, and we'll certainly get back to you, okay? So, in the meantime, I will see you next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here for the Healing Hour Live. Remember this week, do not do what the fear tells you do. It is leading you wrong. It is lying to you. Do not believe it. All right? All right, y'all. That's about it. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will check you out again next week. All right? Bye.